What's up, everybody? This is Brian back with another deck profile. What do we got for you today? Pure cyberse. I don't know how to pronounce the name, so bear with me. And this is the first time I've had a pure cyberse deck that isn't part of an archetype. I have Mech Knights, but that's an archetype. Without further ado, let's get into it. Cyberse Magician. What he does is he searches out, if he's destroyed and sent to grave, he searches out a cyberse monster and adds it to hand. He also, any damage you take is halved. While you control a link monsters your opponent controls cannot target monsters you control for attacks except this one. Your opponent cannot target monsters you control with card effects except this one. If he battles a link monster, it gains 1,000 attack during the damage step only. Degrade Buster. Now what he does is you banish 2 cyberse monsters from your grave. You target a monster your opponent controls with higher attack than this card. Quick effect. Banish it until the end phase. So not only does he banish your opponent's monsters, he gets around those hard to get around monsters. Cyberse White Hat. If you control 2 of the same type, then you can special summon him. If he's used for link material, he when he goes to grave, you can make all your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack. Segmental Dragon. I mean, this card's iffy, but I mean, against swarm decks, he's pretty good. You can normal summon or set him, but his attack is halved. You can tribute him, and when you tribute him, you can destroy all monsters in the main monster zone that has attack equal to or less than this card had. So that gets around monsters that people used to link with or swarm or synchro with. Clock Wyvern. He has an effect of summoning a clock token, and you can have his attack to do that, but that's useless. Me personally, I don't like tokens, so there's certain cards in this deck that you should run at 3. Most of the cards, I have at 2. This is one of the cards you should run at 3. When you normal summon or special summon this guy, Widget Kid, you can summon a cyberverse monster in face-up defense. He's like your Silent Doom card. This is another card you should be running at 3. Flame Buffalo. If he leaves field, you can discard another cyberse monster and draw 2 cards. So basically, he's like a pot of greed, pretty much for free. Cyberverse Wizard. He has an effect too. Once per turn, you can target an attack position monster, change it to defense. If you do, for the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot attack. Your monsters cannot attack except to attack that monster. And he does pierce. And that's all he does. Link Slayer. What he does is he's a cyber dragon for the cyber dragon for the deck. And what he does is you discard up to 2 cards and blow up that many spells and traps. I don't know how some of you feel about level 3 monsters, but this is normal or specialed. Lady Debug allows you to search a level 3 or lower monster from your deck. Perfect for getting your draw power. Flame Buffalo. Garbage Collector. You target another monster that began the deck, or began the duel in the main deck, and bounce it back to hand. And special a monster with the same level but different name. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, so bear with me. If he battles during the battle phase, immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon a cyberse monster. If he leaves the field, you can draw a card. Launcher Commander. He's like Cannon Soldier, but better. All other cyberverse monsters gain 500 attack and defense, and you contribute another cyberverse monster, and target a face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Cynet Storm. This is really good for link summons. All link monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. Link summons of link monsters cannot be negated. Once per chain, if you take 2,000 or more damage by battle or card effect, you can you can shuffle face down cards in your extra deck, excavate the top card, and if it is a cyberse link monster, special it. Otherwise, return it to the extra deck. So mostly, you have a chance to special summon a really powerful link monster. Cynet Ritual. Should be running 2. I only have 1. This is what you use to ritual summon the cyberse magician. It also has another effect. If you control no monsters, I believe it summons a token. Yeah, it summons 2 Cynet tokens. After you banish this card and 1 ritual monster from the grave. You just can't activate this card the turn it's sent to grave. Cynet Recovery. If your link monster or monsters is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can target 1 monster in your graveyard except a link monster, special it, and defense. So it's like it's like another it's a Silent Doom card. Except you don't have to use normal monsters. Cynet Ritual. It allows you to go into the fusion monsters that I'll be discussing later. Cyberversal Cyclone. It banishes. You banish a monster. You target 1 link monster your opponent controls. Banish 1 monster from your grave that has the same link rating as that monster, and if you do, destroy that monster. Then, if the original type of the monster you banish was cyberse, you can destroy 1 face-up card in your opponent's spell and trap card zone. Basically, you banish their monster and you also blow up 1 of their spells and traps. So if they have Gozen Match or Rivalry or Gravity Bind or something, you can blow it up. You can also run Night Beams in this deck too. Cyberse Beacon. If you take damage by battle or card effect, you can search out a level 4 or lower cyberse monster and add it to hand. There are various other cards you can use with this deck. Night Beam. You can also use Cynet Backdoor, Wild Tornado. But you've also got your standard staples: Mirror Force, Jar of Avarice, Monster Reborn, Burial, Dark Hole, Deep Prisons. Now, extra deck. Cyberse Clock Dragon. Use Clock Wyvern, Cynet Fusion to go into this, as well as another fusion. But Clock Dragon, what it does is, when it's fusion summoned, you can mill cards from the top of your deck to the grave, equal to the total link rating of the materials used for this card's fusion summon. If you do, until the end phase of the next turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. Also, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card sent to the graveyard by this effect. If you control Link monsters, your opponent's monsters cannot target other monsters you control for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control for card effects. This is fusion summoned. This fusion summon card you control sent to the grave. You can add a spell card from your deck to your hand. While Cyberse Magician adds monsters, this guy adds spells. Diplexer Chimera. This adds if this is destroyed, it adds a monster from your grave and Signet Fusion. You can also tribute cyberse monster spells and traps, and their effects cannot be activated during the battle phase. So pretty much it acts like an ancient gear monster, in a sense. So far, as far as the talker monsters, I think this is the most powerful power code talker. It negates an opponent's monster's effect to the end phase, and it doubles its attack points if it battles. End code talker. What it does is once per turn before damage calc, if your monster this card points to battles an opponent's monster with higher attack than it, you can make that monster unable to be destroyed by battle. You can also take make that monster. You can also take no damage from that battle. After damage calc, have this monster, or one monster, points to gain attack equal to that attack if it battled that opponent's monster to the end phase. X code talker. What it does is it has an Ojama effect, an Ojama trio, and if it's link summoned. Monsters this card points to gains 500 attack, and they can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Transcode Talker is another. This card is co-linked. It and its co-linked monsters gain 500 attack. Also, your opponent's monster, your opponent cannot target any of them with card effects. You can target one link, 3 or lower cyberse link monster in your grave, and special it to the zone this card points to. You just can't special when you use this effect. Decode Talker. You guys know what he does. And Signet Witch. Pretty sure you know what she does. Alright. That's it for pure cyberse. Hit like or subscribe. And when I get Blue Eyes, the rest of the cards to finish it, I will update the Blue Eyes deck profile. Catch you on the flip side.